Good morning, friends. Myself, Dr. Kanak Saxena, Genetics and Plant Breeding Department. Today, we are going to discuss about the different mapping methods for detecting QTL. Before coming to the different mapping methods, we should know what is the principle behind the QTL analysis. QTL analysis is based on the principle of detecting an association between phenotype and genotype of markers, and these markers used to partition the mapping population into different genotypic groups based on the presence and absence of the particular marker loci to determine whether significant differences are exist or not. Okay. The significant difference between the phenotypic and genotypic depend on the marker system and type of population. This indicates the marker locus being used to partition the mapping population is linked to a QTL controlling trait or not. Now let's come to the different methods of QTL detection. There are two different methods, single QTL mapping and multiple QTL mapping. Single QTL mapping methods include two types of analysis, single marker analysis and simple interval mapping. This type of QTL mapping are called as single QTL mapping. Why? Because with the help of these two approaches, one QTL at a time we can detect only one QTL. Okay, while in multiple QTL mapping, we can detect many QTLs present in the complete genome. We can detect as many as possible QTLs at a time. And it includes composite interval mapping, multiple interval mapping, and Bayesian interval mapping. Now, let's come to the first type of QTL analysis. First is single marker analysis. In this marker analysis, there is a chromosome, there is a marker, and only one QTL or target gene. This marker analysis is based on the association between the marker genotype and the trait value. It is likely that a QTL is close to the marker locus. Thus, it finds association between marker genotype and trait value is used for quick scanning of the entire genome to find out the best possible QTLs. And this type of analysis is also used to identify the missing or incorrect formatted data. This is the simplest and earliest method of QTL analysis. In this analysis, only single marker is used, and hence it is also known as single point analysis. Since in this method only one marker is used, so it is very difficult to know the exact position of the QTL in the entire genome. And in some cases, there is a possibility of recombination between the marker and QTL. Now, what is the cause of magnitude effect of QTL? We can't judge, we can't know with the help of single marker analysis. So these are the disadvantages, these are the limitations occur when we are using single marker. Now, to overcome the drawbacks of single marker analysis, here is the extension of single marker analysis, interval mapping occurs. It provides a systematic way to scan the whole genome for the evidence of QTL. It provides accurate result about the number and position of QTLs in the genome. It uses only single marker analysis uses only one marker for QTL mapping, whereas interval mapping uses two observable flanking markers to construct an interval within which to search for QTL. Suppose there is a chromosome, here is a marker, and this is QTL, and there is another marker. There is an interval. QTL is present between two flanking markers. In interval mapping, the first one is simple interval mapping. It gives information about the probable position of QTL which can be occur between the markers. Use of such linked marker for analysis compensate for the recombination between the markers, marker 1, marker 2, QTL, between the markers and with the QTL. So we can give information about the segregations and individuals detection of the QTL. What is the recombination between the marker QTL and marker analysis? That's why it is considered as a statistically more powerful compared to the single point analysis or single marker analysis, because in this we can give information about the recombination between the markers and QTL. There are some limitation as well occur in interval mapping. Like resolution of exact number of QTL is not possible. Suppose there is a marker M1, M2. Here's a QTL. It may be QTL is present here or here or here or here. So the resolution of exact number of QTLs is not possible. While there are two QTLs or three QTLs or how many QTLs are present between these two flanking markers, and the exact position of QTL cannot be resolved if there are more than two QTLs, so where they are present, okay, and when other are segregating in the population or not. It can't distinguishing multiple linked QTL effects. Suppose we talk about the marker and marker QTL interactions or recombinations. Here there are so many recombination occur between the QTLs, so we can't know with the help of such type of simple interval mapping. Now, to overcome the problems occurring in simple interval mapping, here occurs the composite interval mapping. It is the modification of simple interval mapping, and in this method genetic markers are incorporated as a cofactor, and this is the reason why the precision of QTL mapping is increased in composite interval mapping. Suppose there is a chromosome and these are the markers M1, M2, M3, M4. These are the flanking markers and QTL are present in between these. By eliminating the genetic variants occur between with these QTLs to the other one. In this type of interval mapping, genetic variants occur by the other QTLs are eliminated, and hence the residual variance is reduced, and that's why the power of detection of QTL is high in this method. Okay, composite interval mapping or SIM is also known as combined interval mapping, multiple QTL model, or marker QTL marker analysis. Let's come to the advantage of composite interval mapping. It has more power and precision than the interval mapping, simple interval mapping, in detecting the number and position of QTLs. It eliminates the effect of other QTLs, thus it provides precise result by removing the effect of other QTLs linked to the marker. Okay. Okay, let's compare the all different types of method of QTL mapping and make it understandable. The marker used in interval mapping are two markers, flanking markers, while in composite interval mapping, markers are used as a cofactors. In MIM, multiple interval mapping, there is no count of markers. In Bayesian interval mapping, only two markers are used. The information obtained about the interval mapping are the number and position of QTLs, while in SIM, number, position, and interaction between the QTLs we can get. In MIM, number and position of QTL, exact position of QTL we can get. In Bayesian interval mapping, number and position of QTL and their effects, interaction effects. Now, interval mapping is designated as simple interval mapping, composite is SIM, multiple is MIM, and Bayesian interval mapping is BIM. If we talk about the precision, interval mapping is highly precise. But when we talk about the SIM, MIM, and Bayesian, these all are the modification of interval mapping. So they all are very highly precise. Now let's come to the advantage of QTL mapping. It helps in determining the useful QTLs in different breeding lines. It gives knowledge about the QTL map, which is very useful in marker state selection. The application of marker for tagging simple inherited traits such as disease resistant would be rewarding. in marker state, backcross breeding or breeding method is usually superior to the conventional type because it takes more time for improving the traits with low heritability such as yield contributing characters. With QTL mapping, we also overcome the problem of linkage drag. Now, what is linkage drag? Linkage drag, it is the phenomena when transferring the favorable character from parents to offspring, there are some undesirable genes is also attached with the desirable one, and the removal of undesirable genes from the desirable one is known as linkage drag. So, with the help of QTL mapping, we can overcome the problem of linkage drag. Now, there are some limitations of QTL mapping as well. It requires equipped laboratory, skilled manpower. It requires large number of gene markers, and they are polymorphic markers, should be polymorphic. QTL detected by any technique is not a true gene. It only indicates the genomic region that most likely contain genes for the particular trait. See, these different methods for QTL analysis provide us information about the location, QTL location, and effect of QTL that influence the particular quantitative trait. But they do not tell us anything about the molecular nature of the QTL, or QTL coding for a specific enzyme that involved in a particular pathway, or do they act as a regulator of gene expression, or are they are non-coding regions that have some influence of expression of trait of interest. These informations are still in dark. So QTL analysis method just gives information about the location, effect of QTLs on the quantitative trait and their interactions. So here we finish our lecture, and thank you so much.